Today we're reviewing the BioLite FirePit Plus. We're in the mountains of Colorado and it's a pretty cold, drizzly, wet day. It actually just snowed a whole bunch on us for about the last hour. So it'll be a decent test to see how well this will combust some like damper firewood. I've spent the last few months down in the desert, so everything I've had has been like super dry. So this will be a pretty solid test to see how easy it is to light this thing. What sets the FirePit Plus apart is a 4-speed adjustable fan with an integrated battery pack that allows for the charging of electronic devices. It has a sliding grill grate on the top and inside an adjustable grate so that you can use it with charcoal on a higher setting. It has a sliding door on the bottom to easily empty your ashes after the fire is done, an X-ray mesh for a floating fire design. It also enables a little more heat transfer and works really well for drying shoes after cold, wet hikes in Colorado. What really sets the FirePit Plus apart is the fan on the unit. So this is gonna create a mostly smokeless fire. It's not entirely smokeless and it's gonna depend on the wood that you have in it and how it's packed. If you put a bunch of wood in here like any other fire, you're still going to get some smoke. You could set it on high and that will help pump air through there, but sometimes it will take a little bit of time for that fire to really catch. It's still never entirely smokeless, but it does a really good job of recombusting a lot of the fumes that are coming off it, and that's the whole purpose of the tubes that run through this, is to reforce that smoke down there and cause it to recombust and get a secondary ignition, a secondary burn off your smoke. The fan also makes fires very easy to start in this thing. When you set it on high, it pumps so much air through there that you can really light just about anything and makes lighting fires so easy. Also with the X-ray mesh here, it just allows a lot of air transfer and some extra heat transfer when you are sitting around the unit. Leave no trace! Fire pits are also really nice because of leave no trace. This is gonna eliminate burn scars on the ground, and because of the handles here, you can pick this thing up even while it's burning and move it around your camp. So now you can have a fire that is portable and in your camp exactly where you want it without having to create extra fire pits. We've all seen campsites that have a lot of burn scars. There's little burn scars all through this place because you want to have a fire that's near your camp, and if there's a bunch of other people here, you can just set this unit, set it right by your van, your camper, whatever you're using, your car, and then you have a fire in your camp. Another advantage of the FirePit Plus is its portability. It strikes a nice balance between size and usability. With collapsible legs and a nice carry bag. It's not included, the carry bag, but it is, I would recommend it if you're gonna be traveling with this thing because it's gonna just contain the ashes and contain everything for it. But yeah, it strikes a nice balance between size and portability. One con of the fire pit is its size. It is on the small side. It does strike a nice balance between that portability, but it's only gonna fit about 3 pieces of cordwood. And with the size of it here, it's gonna be hard to fit more than say 5 people around the fire pit. It's definitely gonna be a more intimate gathering, and on really cold nights, you're not gonna feel too much of the fire if you're sitting far from it. The X-ray mesh does do a good job of transferring heat, so if you're close to this, you are definitely gonna feel the fire. But if you're sitting further away from it, it is small, so it's not going to feel as warm. Downside is the fan noise. When this thing is on high, it is very loud. I would not really want to be sitting around it with it on high for very long. It does have Bluetooth, so you could sit back, load this thing up, crank it on high for just a few seconds, maybe a minute until it really starts to burn, and then set it back down to low. It just has a very slight rumble to it that's almost inaudible. You can still hear it, pretty easy to forget it. But it is a con, it's worth mentioning. This last point is really nitpicky, but I would say overall the fire pit could use some refinement. When I received it, the top door was slightly, bent or whatever. It didn't quite fit in the track right. After a few burns, it did burn itself in, and now it fits just as it should. But then the bottom door also just uses one attachment point, so it can slightly skew in there. So just overall, I would say maybe they could refine it. This is really nitpicky, and I think most people wouldn't even notice it after a few uses, but it's what we're here for, tear it apart. Overall, I've been really happy with the FirePit Plus. It's been a great addition to our camp. I think it's perfect for small families, for couples that are traveling, even just for use in the backyard for like small intimate gatherings. It's not gonna work very well for like a lot of people, for large groups, just because of the size, as we mentioned. We have affiliate links in the description below. So if you found this review helpful, it really helps support our channel. And happy camping, safe travels, and enjoy the rest of your summer.
Take it like this and lift it up in the air and put it anywhere you want to. The fire pit. But I don't know how it works. Ryan will tell you more about it. And now let me get in.